Let's do something different today. Anime characters in Apex Part 1. Today, Midoriya. Tell me if you like the series, and if you do, comment who should be next. I see Midoriya being a very rushdown character. I would have his passive be the potential of one for all. Every bullet Midoriya hits would increase his percentage of one for all up 1. Since he can't use it 100% in the show, the max would be 50%. This would increase his movement speed. If he doesn't hit anyone for 3 seconds, it would decrease by 1 every second. His tactical would be air pressure fingers. He will be set in the opposite direction while the air pressure would knock anyone away. He can use this for mobility wise, or he can use this to get away from opponents. His ultimate would be 1,000,000%, even though he doesn't go 1,000,000%. This will automatically get his passive to 100%, so he can double his speed. But it decreases by 2 every second, except for 1 every second. So he'd be a very, very aggressive, rushdown character with high mobility, and if you have him with machine guns, he would be disgusting. Don't give him a sniper though. I took so long to do this, but part 2 of anime characters in Apex. Zoro. Now Zoro is a swordsman, so it was a little more harder to figure out what to do with him since there aren't any swords in Apex, but I think I figured it out. His tactical would be Itoryu, or one sword style. Basically just a normal sword slice that does 100 damage. So he immediately take out someone if they don't have a shield, or break someone's shield immediately. His ultimate would be Blade Hurricane. An aura around him would start spinning in a circle, doing consistent damage to anyone around him. This would be really good for fights inside and chasing people down. Now his passive I had fun with. Since Zoro gets lost very, very easily, I wanted to incorporate that into his gameplay. So I would name it the Swordsman's Finding. It will basically be the opposite of Wraiths. He basically shout out anything that's around him, but only his teammates can hear it. This will mostly be shouted out in the battlefield. There's a Caustic nearby, Caustic Trap nearby, Gibby nearby, stuff like that. So everyone knows what's around him and he can't get lost. If anime characters was in Apex Part 3, this time Shinra, but guess who asked for it? The Ramen Man from Naruto! What? Anyways. Shinra is a blitz character. He will be on your cheeks 24/7. So we're gonna make him be on your cheeks 24/7. His passive would be called Fire Force's Might. It has 2 effects. 1, it makes you vulnerable to incendiary grenades or fire. And 2, it allows you to double jump. Because you know, he can fly. His tactical will be Hotspot. Wherever he steps will leave fire on the ground. This is better though when you're sliding because it makes a line behind you, or jumping because it makes a ring around you that spreads out. It will do damage over time, less than incendiary grenades, but will build up the more you get hit by the fire. His ultimate would be Flight. I don't know what to call it. You just be able to fly. Now you only can fly for around 5 seconds, and you can't really do anything in it. All you can do is fly, but if you cancel it and learn how to use your double jump, you can control the air like no one else. Anime characters was in Apex Part 4. Today, Blackstar. Now, Blackstar is known for his speed, but I don't want to have another aggressive speed type character, so we're going to go more into his changing weapon aspect. Blackstar and Tobaki have many weapons that can change into, so that's basically what we're going to have him do. His passive is going to be called Quick Hands. Simply, he's going to be able to reload and switch weapons, probably double the speed of normal people. His tactical would be called Chain. He would throw a Tobaki in her chain form, and it has 2 properties. If it hits someone, they get slowed for a couple of seconds. But if you miss and hit the ground, it leaves like a trail, like a tripwire. This will stun anyone for 3 seconds. Now his ultimate I thought was really, really cool. It's called Versatile Assassin. What this does is let Blackstar switch weapons with the last person he killed. Whoever weapon had the most ammo that the enemy had, he would gain. And he would switch it out with the one he has equipped right now. So let's just say if your opponent had only the PK, you would get that. Ooh, a duo character. If anime characters were in Apex Part 5. As you saw before, Maka and Soul. Now I thought this was going to be interesting because Maka and Soul are very inseparable. They're a duo. And since there's 2 names on there, I'm going to put them both in at the same time. So to kick it right off the bat, we have the tactical Soul Swap. Basically, you can switch from Soul to Maka. The cooldown on this would be mad long though. Now why this is significant is because both of them have different passives. Souls would be amped weapon. When in teammates, your recoil, reload, and ADS times are decreased. And since Maka's a smarter one, I gave her more of an information-based one. Hers is called Battle Sense. Works only in your teammates. Your compass will point to the direction of the closest enemy in a 30-meter radius. Now where this gets crazy is their ultimate, which is, of course, Soul Resonance. For 30 seconds, both of their passives are activated. And whatever character you switch into would have a buff to theirs. Maka would just increase how many people are pinged on the compass. And Soul just decrease the times of those actions even more. Kinda cool, right? If anime characters were in Apex Part 6, the wannabe pirate king himself, Luffy. Now this one's a little more harder because Luffy is immune to bullets, but I can't make him immune to bullets in a shooting game, so I kind of thought outside the box. One, I'm adding something I haven't added to other characters. I'm giving him that extra fortify ability. If you play Apex, you know Gibby and Caustic have this extra passive where they take less damage than most characters. Luffy would get that since he doesn't get affected by bullets. His passive will also evolve his rubber self. It's called Spring Back. When falling from a high surface, except for just landing and not being able to move, you actually can direct which direction that kinetic energy goes. Basically, you fall, and you can choose what direction you go, and you spring that way. His tactical will be Gear Second. Your fire rate for any gun will be faster, but you take damage continuously. Kinda like Octane's, but not with a speed boost. His ultimate is Rubber Man. For 1 to 2 seconds, all bullets shot at him go exactly back to where they came from, meaning they just bounce off and go back. Kinda made Luffy a tank character now I'm thinking about it. If anime characters were in Apex Part 7, something different, Nishinoya. And do not ask why 3 of the videos look exactly the same, these are all pre-recorded. I want to do something different because Nishinoya is not a shonen character, and putting him in a shooting game I thought would be really funny. So I thought of a loadout for him. So his passive is Show Off. He can throw any throwable farther and faster. Now I know this is already Bango's ulti in the game, but it's Nishinoya, you have to give it to him. So his tactical is Rolling Thunder, of course. It's literally what the name is implied. You roll, you get 3 to stock up, they take 10 seconds to charge each, and you're invincible to damage while you're rolling. It would just be a simple barrel roll. His ultimate would be Guardian Angel. Nishinoya would obviously set up in his receiver position, and out of his arms would come a holographic force field, because you know he would dream some crazy stuff like that. It takes like 3 seconds to set up. Once set up, Nishinoya is allowed to move anywhere. Any bullet shot at it will be scattered in another direction. And even if you shoot the bullet, it will hurt your teammate. So create some chaos. If anime characters was in Apex Part 8, Murder Explosion King. Bakugo is very explosive. So that's literally what we're gonna do. His passive is Explosion King. Any grenade that he throws has a bigger radius and does more damage. His tactical would just be called Explosion. It can be used in 2 ways. If on the ground, you shoot a projectile explosion, I guess. Basically a line of explosions that go not too far, probably like 10 meters. It would do damage like a normal grenade. While he's in the air, he's able to propel himself in the direction he's looking, leaving an explosion trail behind him. His ultimate would be Howitzer Impact. When you activate your ultimate, Bakugo will start spinning in a circle and start rising in the air. He's not invincible during this though. But while he was doing this, he gets to aim and make a location where he wants to shoot his explosion. After 5 seconds, he releases the explosion and it does a good amount of damage to that area. And when he shoots it, it's like that. It immediately hits. So all you extras better move it. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Urza. So if anime characters were in Apex Part 9, I guess I'm writing the numbers down. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Urza. I had to do this. I love fairy tales. So first off, I'm gonna give her the fortify ability like I did with Luffy. Like Caustic or Gibby, you would take 50% less damage. On top of that, her passive, Queen of Fairies, allows you to take reduced damage. The amount of reduced damage is depending on the level of the Evo shield. The lower the level, the less damage you take, and once you hit purple shield, you don't take any more reduced damage. Her tactical would be weapon equipped. What's funny is that I'm taking this tactical from the Dummy's Big Day. You'd be able to drop any attachment like a stock or extended mag at random. Her ultimate would be Armor Swap. This ultimate would make her equip a random armor out of 3 choices. Option 1 would be her Big Boy Shield Armor, which would reduce the damage she takes. Armor 2 would be this one where you increase her speed. Or Armor 3, which gets her better air mobility and able to climb walls better. I don't know, I saw this comment, it made me very happy, so we're doing Kirishima. He's my favorite My Hero character, so if anime characters was in Apex Part 10, Kirishima! For the 3rd time in a row, we're giving someone the fortify ability. I mean, this one is the most obvious reason. His passive would be Red Riot. He would take reduced damage from any punches and reduced damage from shotguns. I'm kind of taking this move from One's Justice, but his tactical would be Shoulder Charge. He would harden his shoulder and run forward. Anyone who gets hit would just take damage and get pushed back a bit. But his front side would be taking reduced damage, about like 10%. His ultimate though would be Unbreakable. He would harden his body for 30 seconds and he would be able to take reduced damage, around like 50%. He is slowed just a bit though. I'm so happy someone said this.